Money, money, money. Give it to me.
And we're live. Welcome back to episode 13 of Grass on the Wicket. Paddy is in the studio today. We're in a sunny Edinburgh today.
No, it's a surprise. It's been so bad. We've had so many games called off for rain.
Yeah,
And it's nice that the day that we don't have any cricket on, the sun's come out.
Are you playing golf later?
I think I will, yeah. I think I will. I've got to wait used to the sun. Yeah, exactly.
George, welcome back. How are you? How was hockey tour?
I feel hockey tour is a loose way of putting what becomes basically a group holiday.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was good.
I was told that you don't even you rent out an Astro just for like half an hour to make it a hockey tour. Was there?
No one takes sticks, so I think we just went and played football for 2 hours, and then even football is putting it loosely for what was basically 90 people running around a pitch with one ball, like kicking it at each other, and there's a couple of rugby tackles going in left, right, and centre. Although there were a group of three, probably like mid-20-year-old men just filming the game on their smartphones from the sideline. So I'm not sure whether they were
Scouts, I reckon.
Yeah, that's what I like to think, because I was running up and down the left wing causing chaos.
Where did you go?
Calais, so like near Barcelona.
Oh, very nice.
So very nice. On the sea, bit of sand, bit of sangria, exactly what you want.
Perfect.
No cricket.
No cricket.
We did spend our entire week looking for a beach cricket set, but
don't think you'll get it in Spain.
No, I think you're always going to be hard pushed.
You are going to struggle.
Should we talk about A.B. de Villiers? I think that's the first big thing that I've read recently about this World Cup. So, A.B. de Villiers, the night before South Africa officially picked their World Cup team, confirms or states that he's available to come out of retirement to play in this World Cup. Then Faf du Plessis and Otis Gibson both support it. So the captain and the coach both support AB's push to get into the side. My question is that fair?
Is it fair that he's not playing, or would it be fair for him to play?
Would it be fair for him to play? There's no. Because it's
definitely not. He left the South African setup to go make more money playing franchise cricket.
Yeah.
And now he's been doing that. He can't just come back in when it's the World Cup because it would make him some more money. Yeah, he's good enough to play in that side, 100%. But he said he didn't want to play anymore. He retired. He was offered a package which he'd only play the home games and still be able to play the World Cup, and he turned that down just to go so he could go make some more money and kind of make his brand worldwide. And you can't then turn around once you've increased your brand and turned away from your country and then go, yeah, cool, I'll come back if you need me, and expect them to say yes.
So Sam on Twitter made the point that it's a World Cup, you have to have your best players and your best games, so therefore he should be picked because he's by far South Africa's best batsman. And when you look at the balance of that team at the moment, having one more player in that middle order, someone like an A.B. de Villiers, is just going to elevate your team. And I mean, who knows what would happen if he had been in this World Cup? What would have happened in the first few games for South Africa?
Is it not a similar debate almost to when we were discussing Jofra Archer being picked? In that it's a man who's maybe not done the qualifying tournament for admittedly different reasons, but then Jofra Archer suddenly becomes available, and it's, do you pick this player who's probably a step above what you've already got, but hasn't been part of that group?
It is slightly different because Jofra's shown that he wanted to play. He just wasn't allowed to. It wasn't that he turned it down. He was turning down playing the ADIs. He just wasn't allowed to with the current rules that the ECB had.
Yeah, almost.
But whereas AB literally just went, no, I'm not playing anymore, I've retired. And then last minute got, actually, you know what, I can play in cricket's biggest tournament. But without having done the tours to anywhere to play it.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I just think there's no way. Like the day before, there's just no. Maybe if he'd given probably the selectors 2 weeks to consider him,
even then
I don't think it's fair on the rest of the team and the players that have been selected. Like for example, you probably think who would miss out. More often than not, it might have actually even been Rassie van der Dussen. the guy who's been making runs for South Africa in this tournament, because of, unfortunately, the quota system means they can only have a certain amount of white players. But
there's no
way he can do it.
In my mind, he just shouldn't be allowed to. If you think about it in football, imagine someone that refuses to play all the international break fixtures and then shows up and goes, "Yeah, I'll play the World Cup." You'd say, "No, you haven't done the Tuesday night game in San Marino. You didn't play in front of 900 people in a dog. Therefore, you can't come and play at the World Cup." You kind of have to go through that process, not only for you as a player to understand how the rest of the team works, but for the rest of the team looking at you, they've no idea how you're going to interact with that side.
It's probably like, I guess, similar to like what it would have been like. Imagine what that would have been like for Jofra, moving into a team where like a few players are a bit sceptical of why he's being picked, and then there's the players that obviously want him to play.
Yeah, but the players can look at Jofra and go, he wants to be here.
Yeah.
He's taken time out of international cricket to play here. He's waited, he's been given his chance, he's taken it. As opposed to completely the other way, he doesn't want to be here, he just wants to come score some runs and elevate his brand.
Although it's not like A.B. de Villiers had never played international cricket before.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd done his time.
Yeah, for 15 years.
Yeah.
Probably long. Yeah, 15 years. He made his debut in 2004.
Yeah.
So
if he hadn't been offered to play basically only the home games and still get a spot in the World Cup, then I'd kind of be like, yeah, fair enough. But he was given that as an option, and he turned it down to go play franchise cricket. And surely the pinnacle of cricket at the moment should be playing for your country.
I think, coming out and hearing what different people have said about the matter, I think Faf du Plessis was trying to kind of butter him up during the IPL a bit and trying to sweeten him back into the fold. And I think Otis Gibson has come out and said that he kind of had spoken to him over several month periods trying to see whether he was going to come back. So I feel like there was a desire from the South African Cricket Board or from certain individuals in it to get him back in the team. Yeah. So I am slightly sympathetic with A.B. de Villiers, because it's not like they kind of said, well, fine, you're on your own, and then kind of left it to him. They almost said, come on, come back. And then when he finally did come back, they then went, oh, no. I mean, I do agree. I agree. I don't think he should be picked. I don't think he should be able to pick and choose. But I do have a bit of sympathy for it.
I don't think it would make that much of a difference, anyways.
Yeah, I mean, they've really been struggling in this tournament. I think as a bowling attack, they're doing okay. Like Rabada's bowling.
I mean, if you've got Rabada, you're not going to not do okay. You could have no one. You could have me and you bowling the rest of the overs, and you'd still be like, yeah, it's a pretty good bowling attack.
But then if you'd added in Dale Steyn, who's been injured for the entire World Cup, you add Steyn and de Villiers into that side, and suddenly.
Did you hear what Dale said about the Bangladesh game?
What did he say?
So he didn't play that game, but not through injury.
So he wasn't.
He said, "I've only got a certain number of balls left in my body. I shouldn't waste it playing against Bangladesh." They then lost, and he's now injured anyways.
Did he say that?
Yeah.
No. Oh.
I mean, he's not the kind of guy to leave his opinions at home.
Yeah,
he's going to let you know.
He would definitely say that.
But yeah, so he didn't play in the Bangladesh game because he was like, yeah, we'll win it. There's no point in me playing, I'll just get injured. He didn't play, they lost, and he got injured anyways.
Fair credit to Bangladesh though. We both wrote them off.
Yeah. It's nice that both of us have such a loose grip of the English language. Like, I just don't really know how it works, but we have a podcast where we have to speak for an hour.
Yeah. Well,
so we wrote them off. We just said they won't be able to win any games.
We just think we didn't have any firepower. We said Shakib, but then we just moved on.
Yeah, I said Tamim as well, but he hasn't done anything.
I don't rate Tamim. I do not rate Tamim. I just think he'll come off one in like 6 games and he'll score you like a fabulous 100. But your players that win your games are Shakib Al Hassan, Mushfiqur, Mahmudullah, the guys that actually bat in Test cricket and bat time. Shakib has been fantastic this tournament at number 3. I think he's got 200s, and he just looks so good.
Yeah.
And he bowls as well. Like, for fantasy, he's my vice captain as well. So he's getting me that points. But like the thing that has helped Bangladesh get runs is that partnership between Shakib and Mushrika. Pretty much in most games, if they bat together for more than 10 to 15 overs, they can really take the game to the opposing team. The one thing I don't understand is they're literally picking Mashrafi as a captain. There's no way. His bowling is horrendous. He bowls about 72 miles an hour and just does nothing.
I mean, it worked okay for Mike Brearley in the England team in the Ashes.
Or just picking a captain.
I mean, there's nothing, as we spoke about when Yaz was on the podcast, there's nothing wrong with your 11th player just being a specialist captain. And it's working.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if he comes off the pitch having done nothing, but you're winning games, why change it?
No, yeah. The one thing I wonder about is how well their spinners are done, because they play 3 spinners in every game. They play Shakib, they play Mahmudullah, and they play Mahedi, and then like a couple others actually probably more part-time stuff. And they haven't done that much as a bowling attack. I just wonder how that's gonna do later on in the tournament with middle overs teams, or teams that like really capitalise the middle overs. Like, for example, I'd say the difference between sides is who bowls those middle overs. So we've had an interesting conversation. So at the start of the World Cup before, Paddy, I don't know what your opinion was, but Peter Della Penna and Sam were emphasising that at the start, the first 5 to 10 overs are key with the ball swinging, and then at the death. I argued no, it's your middle overs where your wrist spinners are your guys that are going to change the pace up a little bit.
Before this World Cup, I have said opening overs where you can win and lose games, because having watched most of the ODIs in England, balls moving around a bit, you take a couple, you get rid of like the destructive openers, and then you can kind of move on, and you can sit, and then you get set into the lower order. But the more I've been watching this World Cup, the more I think about it. If you've got when people are bowling the new ball, it's harder, so it's easier to hit. So as long as you just don't get hit all around the park in the early doors, the ball's not moving. Woke said he'd be happy if he got 2 overs of swing. So the ball is just not moving at all. As long as you don't get hit around the park when the ball's rock solid, then in the middle overs you're looking to take wickets and really reduce the run rate. When there's a little bit more, the ball's a bit softer, it's going to turn a bit more, and you can really get on top of teams sort of in overs 20 to 35.
Yeah. George, what do you think? Do you think middle overs is now?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's that middle. It's those middle overs where you've got. I mean, if you look at the Australia game yesterday,
that's what. Yeah, I was gonna say that's what cost them the game.
I think that is what cost them, and they didn't accelerate quickly enough.
It was absolutely that cost them. The two things was there's middle overs. So Chahal and Kuldeep bowled fantastically yesterday. I love the drift that Chahal can get on the ball, and as a leg spinner, I think it's more that he doesn't bowl bad balls. Like, I saw the pitch map for Chahal and compared it to Zampa. Zampa's sporadic. Chahal bowled 1 full delivery, and everything else was in the good length for a 10 over spell. Just the consistency to bowl good areas will just restrict them, because all you have to do then is, if you're bowling good areas, just changing your pace, changing your flight, and that will just do the trick. Should we quickly talk about the India game then, because we've kind of brought it up?
Well, yesterday's.
Yeah, Shikhar and Rohit Sharma. Just a fantastic partnership. Just performed
the
well
most
in
impressive
England.
thing about Snick off Dhawan was I think he was like 10 off 30, and then brought up as 50 at almost runnable. He was going really slowly, and then just clicked when, right, okay, time to start scoring runs quickly. I think it's probably worth mentioning that we're not a high-end studio here. We're not recording at Abbey Road. Alfie Flemish just come in and put the cricket on in the background around where we're recording. So if you hear him complain about something,
or a sound effect as a wicket falls.
Yeah. Well, Alfie's got this really good. He's got this really good ability. I don't know if it's a good ability. It's an ability. He says nothing during the game until someone hits it in the air. He'll go, "What a shot!" and you know it's a wicket. Every time he goes, "Oh, what a shot! Oh, that's 6," or something like that. It's a catch. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard you say, "What a shot!" that's gone over the rope, or even been dropped, or even not gone to a fielder. Every time it's in the hands. So if you hear a "what a shot,"
get him on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah,
I feel Britain's Got Talent's still going, isn't it? It's that time
someone
of the year.
from my school in the year below me is in the final.
Of Britain's Got Talent?
Yeah.
Really?
Like magician. What? I didn't know who it was, and then like someone told me he's in the final. I was like, huh?
So but magician, not really that impressive. Being able to call when someone's getting out by saying the wrong thing, that's going to make you the big bucks.
That's what Simon Cowell's really looking for.
Yeah. What are we talking about? The Indian game.
Yeah. Wow. George, what did you think of the performance yesterday from India and Australia?
I thought India played really well. I think their bowling lineup is looking dangerous.
So the other thing I wanted to say I brought up was back of a length and bowling a heavy ball. Like, you can't get it away when it's tucked in at the body. It's almost impossible to try and like score boundaries.
Especially on these pitches where there's just enough seam movement
that it's like angling in or something
that you can't back exactly where it's going to be.
Yeah.
The back of length stuff. There was a really good graphic that the 2 India openers bowled, I think, 3 balls in the slot, in inverted commas, and the rest of them were all just in the good length, just back half
the boundary,
of it. And that's why Australia just couldn't get off to a fast start, because it wasn't really there to pull.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. You definitely couldn't drive it.
Yeah.
You were just they were kind of just stuck, trying to either run it down to third man or playing and missing.
George, what did you think?
Well, I thought it's quite interesting. There's been, Steve Smith scored lots of runs since coming back, but there's been a bit of criticism about David Warner and his kind of slow scoring rate and the pressure that puts on everyone else. Because you've got Usman Khawaja, who is scoring very freely at the top of the order, especially when that power play is in force. And David Warner's come in, and I'm not sure what it is, because he scored loads of runs in the IPL.
Yeah.
But in this World Cup, he just seems to be just struggling. He scored 50 yesterday, but off 84 balls. And if you're chasing 350, you need to be going at least a run a ball. And then that put so much pressure on Khawaja to come in, who then took a long time to get going in the game. And
Khawaja was still going at over 100 strike rate as well, but like he looked like he was forcing it.
Yeah, it was also far too little, too late by that point.
Yeah, it was too late.
Because you had...
It was also because Smith batted slow. Smith got 60, I think 69 in the end, but at the start he was just knocking about. After about 5-10 overs at the crease, he was still just knocking them around for 1s and 2s against the spinners. They went too late. They went after it way too late. I want to mention Alex Carey, because he nearly got them back into that game.
Can't take a catch though.
You don't need to take a catch if you're a wicket keeper. A well-known fact. That's not their point in the side.
I think
that's why they have the gloves, just to protect their hands when they're not catching the ball.
Well, so I don't know if that's picked up by the camera, but I was saying Alex Carey can't take a catch, and he dropped. Oh, who was it? He dropped.
Pandya.
Oh yeah. It was a catchable.
Yeah, it went straight into the glove. Literally, it was perfect. It was the perfect diving catch area. It's gone straight into the webbing.
Yeah,
and it's straight back out again.
India played well against South Africa as well. Rohit getting another ton.
He's a quality player, isn't he?
He looks so good. He just the way he just swings the bat. Moeen also he reminds me of Moeen when Moeen's batting really well and very fluid with the way that he plays his stroke play. Rohit's
you say when?
Yeah.
If Moeen were to bat well.
When he got that ton against Sri Lanka 5 years ago.
I'm also mugging Moe now. It was actually a shame for the England game that it was.
They dropped him
when we started losing wickets and Stokes had to come in for the end. I've been saying Moe shouldn't be in the squad. It shouldn't be in the squad. Shouldn't be in the squad. Oh, sorry, should be in the squad. Shouldn't be in the team. That was the perfect time for him to come in. And I actually think we, even though we won, I thought we were short of a Moe alley in that game, and I think he could have made it a lot easier for us. Annoyingly, yeah.
What in the middle of? I'm also just surprised at, going back to the Australia game, at how late Glenn Maxwell came in, coming in at 5. You know,
Glenn Maxwell, the India game.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they promoted him as well.
I mean, I thought he'd come in at 4. Get him in early. You need, Glenn Maxwell has got an incredible ODI record, an incredible strike rate. He's performed Big Bash, IPL, wherever he goes, he scores runs. Why don't you get him in?
Yeah.
Especially because he's in my fantasy team.
He also, when he started scoring yesterday, and he hit like a couple boundaries off the first 3-4 balls, I was like, he could change this game. I thought Australia were right back in the game, but he was just left with too much to do and not enough time really.
Australia have never played Maxwell right.
Oh yeah.
They've never. They kind of bowl him sort of at the right times, but not really. They often allow for players, because he's the kind of guy who's going to restrict boundaries, but he's quite easy to get 1s and 2s off. But he comes in and people just go 1, go 6 and over off him, and then when he bats, what's the thought process? You've got a guy who's so good with the bat. In all formats of the game, and you kind of just let him do nothing because you just leave him in the changing room.
Well, what do you do with him, right? Because he's that good that he can probably bat anywhere from 4 to 7, right? What would you do?
Well, surely you have it a bit more flexible, like you would, like the England batting lineup seems to be, and you go, hang on a second, we need to score a run and a half a ball here. Let's get Glenn Maxwell in and play a trump card. If you're India, you're going to lose all confidence as soon as you see Glenn Maxwell come in.
I'd have it as soon as it's 7. As soon as your run rate goes above 7, your next batsman in should be Glenn Maxwell.
Well, because he came in yesterday when Australia needed 11 and a half and over. And there were 7 overs remaining. That's going to take a pretty Herculean effort from there.
What did we think of not Maxwell? The decision by India to promote Pandya up the order yesterday as well. I thought that was quite smart in front of Dhoni.
Oh yeah,
And so Alfie showed me a stat just now that in the middle overs apparently both Australia and India weren't too far off each other in run rate. But I just said I think it was smart. I just wonder who made the call. Was it Dhoni or was it Kohli that said let's promote Pandya up the order? I just because that reason is probably why India got to 350. Because Pandya came in, upped the rate, and just went after it. Because he went, I think, got 48 off 20 odd balls or 25 balls or something. And so that guy who ups the pace made all that difference to India. And then once Pandya had started playing his shots, Kohli realised, right, Pandya's in now, I can start playing. Kohli played a very well-balanced innings yesterday. It didn't look fantastic. He didn't look ridiculous. It wasn't an absurd chase or anything. It was just smart batting. He took his time, knocked it around, and then accelerated when he needed to.
I think regardless of how Pandya did, he just looks cool. I like watching him play. He's just like ice cool.
He's
isn't
a stud. He thinks he's
a stud.
He thinks he's he thinks he's like an alpha. He knows he's like a big dog.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I rate it. I think he's proper cool. Especially as he's not close to being the top player in that side as well. He's not close to being the top player on that side, but he's just so cool that he's one of my favourite players in the side, in the team. Probably one of my favourite players in the tournament.
Really?
Yeah, just because he kind of walks out there like he's already on 150.
Yeah.
He could snick off first ball, walk back to the dressing room and go, I look good out there, lads.
He would be the guy that gets like 8 and he'd be like, oh, did you see my cover drive? That's the best thing.
Yeah, sounds a bit like you though.
Yeah, alright. Well, that was like...
Well,
yeah, because I don't score runs, so when I do, it's a special...
Neither does Pandy.
A special occasion. Exactly, so that's what... We'll quickly talk about New Zealand and how they've been doing in the last, I think, 2 games they played this week. They played Afghanistan, comfortably beat them, and then they played Bangladesh and were in a bit of a nail-biter, actually.
Yeah, it was a good game. It was one of those games, so I missed all of these midweek fixtures.
Yeah.
As I was away, so I was watching that on Caleb's iPhone whilst we had a Deliveroo curry in a travel lodge in Durham. Which
Living the life.
Probably the worst decision we've ever made. Made cricket the next day a real struggle there.
Yikes.
But it was a lot of fun to watch. I can't speak that much about it.
Yeah.
Other than as a fan, the last 10 overs, having not watched any of the rest of the game, were excellent.
George, did you see anything interesting about that game? I thought it was just clinical not clinical because it was a little bit nail biting in the end. But what were you gonna say? Sorry?
I mean, New Zealand are just a good side, aren't they?
I just think they're well balanced.
Yeah.
They're really well balanced. Interesting. They're not even playing Tim Southey. They're playing Matt Henry over Tim Southey. Matt Henry's doing well. And then like the one thing which is gonna be annoying coming from me, but the commentators are saying it as well. Ish Sodhi, no Sodhi, no party. It's just like
if you can get anyone else to tweet
can we get that trending?
Well, it just doesn't.
You say trending.
It doesn't roll off the tongue.
If one more person that doesn't listen to the podcast tweets out no Sodhi, no party, I'll be so impressed.
Oh, what? Like just like you can get someone...
If it can transcend the podcast, that'd be so good. I'd like to see him play because it's a bit of a meme now, isn't it? It's a bit of a joke with us. But
genuinely though, he's a leg spinner and he offers a wicket taking option, and that's what the commentators have been saying as well, because he can take wickets in ODI cricket. What are you smirking, Alvin? What are you smirking about? But apart from that, New Zealand just look good.
Yeah,
I think Ross Taylor, Tom Latham, and Williamson is your 3, 4, and 5 is pretty strong.
Yeah,
interesting. They're playing both all rounders, but it seems to be working. Like Jimmy Neesham and de Grandhomme. De Grandhomme's more of a bowling all rounder. Neesham can bat a bit better. Just well balanced. There's not really much else to it. And then Lockie, who bowls wheels, quick. He, I guess, is like their X factor in terms of pace, because Bolt doesn't bowl 85. He bowls about 80, 83. Yeah. It just looked like a good team, and they've only played the 3, what we classified as the 3 weakest sides so far. Though they played Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Afghanistan. Be interesting to see.
I'd put South Africa in that weakest 3 bracket at the moment.
At the moment, yeah.
The four in the weakest 3 bracket. Well, certainly Bangladesh got themselves out of that bracket.
Oh yeah,
I'd agree.
So just swap the 2.
Yeah, swap them in.
Yeah. Pakistan.
I mean,
I don't know.
Exactly what we said they were going to be coming in.
Yeah.
That they're going to be either brilliant or awful.
Yeah, hot
and they've been
or cold.
Both.
Yeah.
Often in the same over.
Yeah. Beating England. I know we spoke about it before, but to beat a side that have 2 centurions is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Butler bowled well. No, not bowled. He batted well. Really well.
And then they just go back to kind of playing. It's like all of them, the game happens around them, and then there's a result at the end, and they're kind of like, oh, okay, we've won / lost. Let's kind of not get ready for the next game.
George, any comments from the Pakistan-England game?
I mean, I'm just staggered that... I think it's a bit of a worry, actually, for England, that you can have Joe Root and Jos Buttler, probably the 2 best batsmen in that team, both scoring 100 and then they lose the game still. I think that's a bit of a worry that they're chasing. I don't. Yeah, I just think it's a worry for England.
The two players that really did the damage for Pakistan with the ball were Shadab Khan and Amir, because Amir bowled that back of a length that we were talking about earlier, and he continuously bowled that length, and it's just hard to hit the boundary. Field placements have been interesting this tournament. A lot of times I've been thinking balls that are going out to the outfield are going for 4, and then there's just a field of it. So and it's more often than not they have a deep cover point rather than having someone round at cover, deep extra. And I think that's because of that back of the length. When you bowl that back of the length, it restricts you to go in front, like in cover. It means that you're probably playing more behind square or to point. And I think that's quite a common occurrence, having someone like a deep point and then someone like a deep mid wicket instead of cow.
Yeah.
Because of that back of a length, which means that it restricts almost pretty much anything in front of you.
Yeah.
And then I think so the Amir bowled that really good length, and he was just restrictive. He went for 60, 67, which is pretty good for 10 overs. And then I just think wrist spin again, it's just a common occurrence this World Cup. Shadab Khan opening the bowling this time.
Well,
I don't know what it's like.
Anyone's going to have seen England, South Africa in the first game, and then go, we'll bowl spin up top.
You'll get Johnny Best though.
Well, he ended up not getting Johnny Best. I ended up getting Roy early doors.
Who
wasted his review.
Yeah.
Just out of pure frustration, as opposed to anything else. He knew it was plum.
Oh, Roy.
Yeah. Literally, it hit him on the full in front of middle stump. You know that's out, but you've reviewed it anyways.
Why not?
Yeah, you could
be
right.
Might as well.
Did anyone see the Sri Lanka-Afghanistan game?
No.
I watched that. It was a good game to watch.
How much time have you got?
As I said, I've done nothing for the last week. I genuinely can't think. Bar cricket nets, I've done nothing.
Nice.
I've just been watching games and tweeting horrendously poor tweets.
Yeah, your Twitter game on our Twitter is great because you'll tweet something. Sam and I will say, Jay, that's not how you spell. Full stops don't go there. What are you even trying to say? And then we've got to basically rewrite the tweet, delete his tweet, and repost it. Trying to explain an Oxford comma to Jay.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of that.
We were just like, well, let's just not bother. Just trust me, a comma goes there. It's been a pleasure, Jay, trying to teach you the ins and outs of the English language.
It's an ongoing process. Maybe that should be a new podcast.
I suppose it's one of the issues when you've got 3 science students.
Yeah.
Trying to do. I suppose I do maths, but we'll call it a science for ease. I mean, it's more difficult than whatever you do.
All right.
And then we're trying to speak and compose sentences. It's somehow, unsurprisingly, not working very well.
Yeah.
We'll work on it. We'll work on teaching you words. Syntax.
Syntax.
And grammar.
Two players I want to mention from this game it was nice to see Dad Bob Malinga back at it again, bowling Yorkers at the death to win games for Sri Lanka.
So he came back into the side the correct way.
His was interesting as well.
He was playing
IPL,
IPL, and was flying back
and forth to
Sri Lanka to play enough ODI
tournament
games such that he could be eligible for the World Cup.
That's so cool. I remember seeing a photo. He got a 4 for his Sri Lankan domestic side. Next day comes plays IPL, gets a 3 for. I was like, that is the dream of a road T20 cricketer.
I was a big fan of that. Just basically flying around the world.
Yeah, just flying back and forth. Just going to Colombo tomorrow. Be back in Mumbai tomorrow. See you later.
Yeah. Sorry, can't train. Taking a fifer.
It was good seeing Malinga, and then Nabi. I've been talking about him for a while, and he just performed again. Engine, 4 wickets for him. He bowled full. He didn't bowl many short balls. I think that was what did the trick, and he varied his flight nicely. Bowls quite round arm, so he doesn't put much spin on the ball, but he can, from that angle, I guess you can change your pace and flight quite well.
And his arm ball is one of those filth things I've ever seen in my life. There's a side-by-side of his stock ball and then the arm ball, and it's literally just like half an inch movement with his finger, and it's just ridiculous. It's almost impossible to pick, and it kind of swings so much it looks like it's moving the other way. Like, it looks like it's like spinning the other way
like
through the air.
A deuce throw.
Yeah.
A left arm deuce throw. One thing, left arms have never had, no left armers bowled the deuce throw. Like, because obviously, surely it's possible, right?
You can't bowl a deuce throw without chucking it, so why would you bother bowling a deuce throw?
You're right, that's why left-handers don't do it, because we're respectful, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm on the boys.
No, but it's well, I think we said this last week. Oh, we certainly said it before. Swan was very vocal about the fact that and Swan's a pretty useful spinner, you'd say. He has never been able to find anyone or find a technique to bowl a deuce throw without throwing the ball. So the deuce throw shouldn't be allowed.
Yeah.
Find another way to bowl a Karen ball.
Yeah.
You've got to find another way to spin it the other way because the deuce throw is just throwing it.
George, West Indies? What are we thinking?
I think West Indies have been looking good.
Shai Hope's looking good.
Yeah, Shai Hope's looking good.
Poor Ran.
Bowling wise, the bowling attack's looking fearsome's caused a lot of problems for pretty much everyone they've played so far. Caused Pakistan all kinds of issues early doors.
Australia didn't do amazingly either against them.
No, Australia struggled.
Well,
they struggled to start with, and then really annoyingly decided they wanted to score some runs at the end. So following that on the radio on the way to the game, it sounded like it was going to be like a 100 all-out job.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, it just sounded like they were just going to completely collapse, and then Smith decided to score some runs, but not get booed. Don't boo him.
And then Nathan Coulter-Nile came in and just absolutely pummeled it everywhere.
He'll never do that ever again. Ever.
You don't think?
He's not that good.
He's a bit of like an all round, like, just average. Like, Australia have got quite a few of these kind of like all rounders that are like not amazing at any of the disciplines, but they're all just pretty handy. Like Ben Cutting, Nathan Coulter-Nile, Stoinis, to be honest. Like,
the Stoinis catch though was pretty handy.
Which was Stoinis? It was literally handy.
Yeah, it's literally the catch. So yesterday's game. Caught and bowled, absolutely spanked back at him.
Yeah, I saw that.
1 mitt out, threw the ball so high in the air, but didn't smile.
Yeah, but
That thing came down with snow on it, and he was still just completely blank faced.
Sheldon Cottrell's catch. Wow.
Yeah.
Wowzer.
Just wow. Like at pace. Did you see the ball? Like, did he hit it pretty flat? Because I've just seen the ball where he's like just sticks in the hand, pops it up, running at like sprinting speed along the boundary fence, and then grabs it again.
It's come pretty.
Has it come pretty flat?
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
It was a good catch.
Was that better than the Stokes catch?
I reckon it's about level because it requires different. Stokes' catch was just a float, like a fluke. Just the trying to dive over your head and catch it is just ridiculous. And then this catch was just more covering the ground because once you've caught it, they actually thrown it into the air to yourself and catching it again. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
This has more about having the bottle really to execute it.
George, you talked about Nathan Lyon's catch.
Did I?
You were saying something earlier before we started recording. About
I was saying because you were talking about subfielders taking catches, and you were talking about
so
what's his name?
Jadeja. So yesterday, Jadeja took a very good catch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'll check who it was to dismiss. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so
it was a very good catch.
It was a great catch, and my argument was so Jadeja's obviously not playing. So he got Maxwell, right?
Big wicket.
Jadeja's, in my opinion, the best fielder in the world, or one of.
One of.
All right, yeah, maybe one of. But he's very active in the field and he's very like proactive. And so having him there, I can argue that would helped India win the game massively. Mm-hmm. And is that fair that they just bring on Jadeja as a sub fielder to just field because he's that good a fielder? Is that fair?
I mean, I feel like England did it, didn't they? Back in the day, 2005, Gary Pratt.
Yeah.
He has an after dinner. He got an after dinner speaking job for the rest of his life after that.
I mean, I would very happily buy him dinner, and so I feel like
just for that run out.
Oh, 100%. Running out Ricky Ponting.
We changed that.
Done. Just to see an angry Ricky Ponting is probably worthwhile.
It was beautiful.
So do we think it's fair for this World Cup playing like Jadeja's the prime example, a specialist fielder who comes on just to field?
You've got to remember that same game, Gary took a catch as a sub fielder.
Yeah,
it'll be a much easier
Nathan
catch.
Lyon. Yeah,
a much easier catch, but still a catch as a sub fielder. The rules say you're more than welcome to have a sub fielder. The guy that's off can't bowl. Obviously they can't bowl when they're not on the pitch, and they can't bowl for the amount of overs that they're off the pitch for as well after they rejoin. So if you want to take that risk, and certainly if it's in the rules and people don't say it's cheating, why wouldn't you?
Well, it could be a tactic that teams could use, right? Like Jadeja is probably, I'd say he's India's best fielder. Like, are there other teams that have got fantastic fielders that wouldn't play normally, but might be picked as a specialist?
Come on as a specialist. See, I'm not too fussed by it.
Okay.
Until, if it becomes a stage where Jadeja's fielding every game for 50 overs because someone wants a rest,
and you just rotate who's off,
then I might start thinking, oh, hang on a second. But I feel like in the meantime, having a good sub fielder is part of the game, isn't it? People get injured. Josh Buttler gets injured, and so you want to bring someone on.
And so we brought on Vince,
who fumbled off,
who fielded most of the game. That didn't make much sense to me. No, when you've got people like Curran and Tom Curran in the side, who could have done a much better job.
I just love how there was that misfield. England's fielding was shoddy.
Shoddy.
Jay Roy's drop was. I might have said this last week as well. The first drop I remember England dropping for like 2 years. Like genuinely in ODI cricket, we don't drop catches, and then Jay Roy dropped an absolute sitter.
And Roy's one of our best fielders.
Yeah,
I would have said. I mean, going before that game anyway, I'd have had him and Ben Stokes up there together. But
Bairstow's a pretty good fielder as well, if I remember. He's just got mitted like gloves.
Yeah, and he's rapid.
Is he?
He's rapid. But Bairstow's like he's an English David Warner, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's really good with the bat. Bats very similarly. Really good fielder, absolutely rapid, and really angry all the time. Like even when Bairstow's happy and he scored runs, he's angry. I think he prefers being angry to anything else.
Yeah.
It's just his natural anger face.
Yeah.
Resting anger face.
If you see him smiling, you should be worried because he's about to do something he's really good.
There's a really good photo. I got a photo at Bairstow when he came to Kent with the Yorkshire team, and so he took a selfie with me. It's fine. But then my friend took the photo before, and he's literally just scowling at the camera. Like, it's just, I'll find it. I'll send that to you guys.
Put that on Twitter.
Yeah, I'll put it on the Twitter.
It will raise the Twitter game.
Yeah, definitely.
Can't get much lower from tweeting about apples.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed the apple tweet yesterday.
That was very good.
I do want to. Is it like a little stamp thing that takes?
Is it edible?
They don't know.
Well, I think so.
I think
it's an
apples
apple.
No,
I think they sttamp it into so they take
the plastic wrapping thing.
I think then they just take the skin off.
Yeah, I reckon they just brand it. I reckon they have a stamp and they just like.
So yes, people that aren't in the know, they're selling these or giving them out for free. I don't really know. Apples at all the World Cup games that have basically taken the skin off the apple in such a way that looks like the World Cup logo. Yeah, I imagine it's a little stamp thing, but does that mean people are stamping it by hand? Or do you reckon they've got an apple press machine?
A job. One of the army of volunteers.
Yeah, I applied to be a volunteer, and if I haven't, and I didn't get accepted, and if I haven't got accepted to stamp apples, how bad must my application been? Yeah, like, I want to know, the Applegate. I want to know if people are getting paid money to stamp apples.
Who can we ask? Who would be the authoritative?
So I'd have thought
Dave Richardson, CEO of the ICC.
I feel we should tweet him.
I thought Sam would know better.
No Sody, no party.
I thought Sam would know better, but he doesn't. He doesn't know about the apples either.
He's at the core of the issue. He still can't help us.
No, definitely not. That's rubbish. Well, yeah. So I think we're going to need to get the big dogs out here. So I reckon we're going to have to contact pretty much everyone.
I agree.
Everyone.
Every single person
in the world.
Someone will know.
It'll be great advertising.
at every Twitter
at
user
8 billion people.
Grass on the Wicket podcast wants to know about the bloody apples. Where have they come from?
Lancashire.
Well, it's is it better or is it worse than drinking beer out of cups with Jimmy Anderson's face on it?
What?
That's what they do at the test matches. All
really?
the cups have got the players' faces on it.
I mean, surely you've seen
these
healthier cups. They have them everywhere. Pretty much all sporting venues now. You go to the rugby and you've got
Stuart Hogg.
Yeah, or whoever on there. I want to know who's on the World Cup pint mugs. Whose mug is on the mug?
It's like Freddie Flintoff or something. Silly.
I'll bring when I go to my games. My games aren't until like the second to last round.
Okay.
So I'm not there to let it for ages.
I haven't got any either.
Actually, no, they won't give me. I've got hospitality. For one of the games. So they won't give us
They'll give you glasses.
Rubbish plastic mugs. Yeah, we're living the high life. It's going to be champagne straight from the bottom.
You're just going to have to go and get some mugs for us all.
Yeah, I think so. I'll see if I can get some branded like Prosecco flutes or something.
Nice.
Do you want to design our own stamp, the Grass on the Wicket stamp?
Well, I don't know how you would
go at the World Cup.
How would you go about getting one of those reusable plastic pint glasses?
Oh, what, the ones where they they push down and it goes...
with people's faces on. Oh. So you've got your James Anderson ones at the Test match. Grass on the Wicket, surely back in the old days. In the old days, you'd give your loyal listeners a car sticker. I feel like that's a bit wasteful. Why don't we go with reusable pint glasses with your face
with Jay's face on it? Just Jay with smiling.
With no sody, no party on the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes, that's got to be a first bit of stash.
Yeah.
Surely that's quality.
What a cup.
But and then
no sody, no party.
The second bit of stash should be an apple press.
An apple presser
thing that we can stamp our logo into. Well, I suppose all fruits.
Can we get one which is just an obscenely large press, so it just goes around the entirety of the apple, saying "Grass on the Wicket," just like all of it.
Cricket. This has been. It's. I think we've lost our way from the cricket.
I think this is maybe a more pressing issue.
Oh
no, not again! I
thought Sam wasn't here, so we weren't going to have these.
I mean,
but Sam isn't here, so we probably should mention, because he'd want to, Somerset beating Surrey at Guildford this week. Mm-hmm. We've mentioned it. Guildford is always a road.
Yeah.
Guildford. It's always a road, and Surrey bottled it. They lost 8 wickets in the space of a session on the last day, needing like 200 to win. Yeah, unlucky. Somerset have got a genuine chance this year.
Don't say that.
Like you've just cost yourselves the title again.
No, it's fine. It's fine because I can say Hampshire have got a genuine chance this year.
True.
Yorkshire have got a genuine chance this year. Right, these guys are all just going to bottle it now, so it's fine.
You're going to have Essex coming up from 4th.
No, you know who's going to do it from 5th place.
It won't be Kent. But interesting to see that
Trez
Trescothick hasn't been picked
They've officially dropped him for this Kent game.
In fact, he hasn't been scoring any runs.
He averages 10 in the last 8.
He hasn't been scoring any runs, and he says that he'll play for as long as he gets picked. So always make himself available, but if someone's going to come in and score runs and take his place, then maybe we're looking at him slowly looking at retirement. Because it will never be just Gothic that chooses retirement. It'll be Somerset like you're just 60 now.
Oh, do you think he's
come on? You've got to use a Zimmer frame to go between the wickets. Maybe it's time.
Interesting. The game started really well so far for Kent. No play so far, so we can't.
Naught for naught.
Naught for naught. 20 points is still on the cards here. I'm gonna try and get to this game.
You're not gonna go down. What? Doesn't look like you're not going to be the team. Surprisingly, Nottingham, not just bottling it. Is it bottling it if you're just rubbish?
Is it bottling it if you're just rubbish?
Because they have been.
No, you're not bottling it. Because you're just bad.
You never had it.
You didn't have any liquid to fill in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, Notts were all out for 162, and Hampshire 93 for 2 in reply. They're genuinely just not going to do anything. There's only one team's going to go down this year.
Again, why? What?
No, so it's one team down and 3 team up this year.
3 teams up.
Yeah, to make it back into a 10-teamer.
Okay.
I think if my maths is right, probably not.
What? Is there any other key moments from this World Cup, from this week's round of games?
Well, what I'm just interested in is the stumps and the bails which are being used.
Yeah.
So, I mean, probably what made it most evident is my flatmate who absolutely, well, I wouldn't say he hates cricket, but isn't a cricket fan, saw the video of Jofra Archer, his wicket, which hit the stumps and then went for 6.
Oh, yeah.
He was like, well, how often has that happened? And I think that kind of like highlights there's something maybe, I'm not going to say not right, but just slightly off with the stumps and the bails which are being used in the World Cup.
I mean, like yesterday, Bumrah, who doesn't bowl slow, bowling to Davey Warner, who doesn't not hit the ball hard. The ball went on to hit the stumps.
Yeah.
Bails didn't move.
Yeah.
I really like the zing bails. I like the light up stumps. It makes the umpires' jobs easier. It's a big spectacle. But if the bails don't behave like the regular wooden bails, you can't use them. You can only use the zing bails once they've been once they're kind of normalised with the wooden ones, because you've got the game's already so batsman dominated that. And now you've brought in the fact that batsmen can't get bowled because the bails don't come off.
Well, because it's been 4 times during this World Cup.
Yeah.
I think that
could you name
the and the bails haven't
could you
come
name
off.
4 times in history with wooden bails and stumps that happened? It's been 2 weeks and it's happened 4 times.
Yeah, that's quite. There's 5 times.
5 times, says Alfie. So. Like, come on.
What do? You just go back to wooden ones?
I'd say you've got to use wooden ones until Zing can make the bails lighter. Because they're just not coming off.
So is it definitely the fact that they're too heavy?
Yeah, that's what I say. Is it weight? Is it a texture issue or something? Oh, they're too heavy.
Yeah, that they're.
I've used Zing bails before.
They're not as heavy as like your heavyweight village cricket and it's windy.
When it's windy bails, yeah.
But they are very solid.
Yeah. Well, I've used them before. So Alfie just showing me here 5 times in 13 games.
Wow.
That's too common.
It's way too much. So I've used them before. They are heavier.
What, Zing bails?
Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing as well, because the stumps they're using, you've got they've got slightly deeper grooves as well to try and stop them from breaking as much and have the bail slightly more protected. They're slightly heavier. They're slightly deeper grooves, and you just got a mix of they're just not coming off.
So deeper grooves and slightly heavier bails
and unsurprisingly, the bails aren't coming off.
Yeah.
You've got to do something to allow for the fact that players can get bowled.
Yeah.
Because currently they can't.
Well, as we said, I guess, about the concussion treatment test stuff the other day, it will have to cost one of the big three a game, I reckon, or like a team a game. Like, so say for example, if Warner had gone on to make a ton or 150 or whatever and won Australia the game, and that had happened when he was on 10, then that would be brought up.
Yeah.
So like as we said again, like with the concussion stuff, it's now being proactive about this kind of thing rather than reactive.
There's so we've got the South Africa Windies game on, and rain stopped play. It's got the highlights of the Australia game from yesterday, and we've just saw Alex Carey's drop of Paddy on naught. First ball, come on, look, it's straight into the gloves. That's gone
Snick
straight in and straight back out
that
again.
Is a sitter.
Yeah, Bales, they've just got to you've got to do something. You can't just continue to play a game of cricket where you've taken out, where you've reduced the likelihood of batsmen getting out.
What, by
just
these
the
yeah. You see, George, do you think just go back to wooden bails? Or you think
I feel it would cause carnage, would it? Not if they then swap the stumps and the bails halfway through. I think that.
Well, really, who would it affect?
Well, because surely that's not fair for every team. If you play 3 games with heavy bails and
you've got to finish it. You've got to finish it. And I do really like them. I think it adds to the game. But if you're going to add something to the game, you can't take it. You can't really take away something that big.
Yeah. And the fact that so many people are talking about it.
Yeah.
And the stumps are solid enough that Jofra Archer can hit the top of the off stump and go for 6.
That was ridiculous, wasn't it?
It's just absolutely middled it. Off the middle of the stump.
It just didn't stop travelling. It just kept on going like a projectile. And I was just like,
Donald Bradman, who used to practice in his back garden with a stump, would have an absolute field day with one of these. He'd be scoring runs left, right and centre.
Oh, it's got that good a middle.
That's 100 metre 6 with a stump.
Now that is what I would like to see.
What, 100?
With a stump.
Someone hit 100 metre 6 with a stump?
Yeah.
You'd have to.
Dre Russ, he hit one out of the ground at, I think, Bristol. It went, I think, 103 metres, and I was like, that's just huge. But he didn't do that well. He didn't play the game. He didn't read the game very well against the West Indies. Against Australia. Sorry. He looked good at the start. He just tried to go after it too early. He should have set himself first and then gone for it after he got himself adjusted to the wicket.
Yeah.
But
I reckon I've got a little something I want to talk about. It's about last week's club cricketer tip of the week, which was you need to buy spikes.
Here we go.
Jay Shah would have played Marchment ones this week had he owned spikes. It was too wet. I couldn't pick him because he doesn't own spikes. He would have slid everywhere, and it would have been a health and safety hazard. Like you would have got injured. So I genuinely couldn't pick you for the ones because you didn't own spikes. And that's not me saying
that has got to be the worst excuse for not being picked I've ever heard.
Yeah,
that can't surely.
Genuinely, it was too wet. He doesn't own spikes. I couldn't play him.
Yeah, but I'd have just been a fielder.
He wouldn't have been able to run between the wicket. You'd have opened the batting. You'd have taken my opening spot.
Why would you? Why?
Because I'm more than happy to bat anywhere from 1 to 11 in that side. And I can't really have you coming in at 11.
Why?
Well, because what are you going to do there? At least I'm going to bowl. You would have opened. You don't have spikes. Get spikes. I've resorted to sending him links to spikes on sale. So he's not even spending full price on spikes.
What, painters?
Yeah. And then he said,
we get sponsored by painters.
And then he said, oh, can I get these black and yellow ones? No, you're wearing whites.
They look so cool though.
They do. You can't wear black trainers and whites. Yeah. I think that could be the club cricketer tip. Do not ever wear black trainers on the cricket pitch if you're wearing whites.
These aren't black, so they're fine. Right.
They're close to being unacceptable.
I wear these when I bat.
It's awful.
Alright, I'll buy them. I'll buy some spikes today. Okay?
Eyebrows.
You'll do it now.
Yeah, cool.
That's
perfect.
fine.
Oh, that's another thing you can tweet. So we're tweeting Applegate. We're tweeting
no Sodi, no party.
No Sodi, no party. The slightly dodgy selfie of you and Johnny Bairstow, and then whichever pair of spikes you find.
I reckon. Or could we open it up? Or should we get some recommendations for spikes?
Yeah, can do, and we can do like an unboxing video or something for it.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're back. Gross Wicket podcast. Unboxing out now.
Alfie, unboxing a 50% off pair of spikes.
Alfie, come here. You've played a lot of club cricket. Do you have a club cricketer tip of the week? Because you gave us our one last week, so you must have another one.
I don't know.
Surely, you got anything? Just what's something you would have loved to have known when you were coming in and playing adult cricket?
How long 40 overs is?
Nah, 40 overs is never very long.
You're mad.
I love 40 overs.
Have you got any tips?
I really can't think of one off the top of my head.
Not getting.
Bottled it.
You bottled it.
I've bottled it.
You absolute bottle job.
He's going red.
You bottle job.
My one is. Yeah, just like the one thing I guess I was talking about is how long 40 overs is compared to.
That's
20.
not really a tip, though, is it?
No, it's not. It was just.
Bring your book.
An observation that I made.
Don't expect to be home by 5. My tip, I've got in trouble with this quite a few times. Don't organise plans for a Saturday night after a game. It's I'm looking at the 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock region. Yeah. You can never guarantee you're going to be there.
I made that.
Because even if the game finishes, there's just so much stuff that goes around at the club that you can't. I've been caught out by that so many times. Last year, playing for a friend's club, but it was my girlfriend's birthday that day.
No.
I was already in pretty murky water playing the game. And I was making my debut and ended up playing really well. I got a 6 foot, and then they're stuck on the like. So you're gonna have a pint. You're gonna have you're gonna come meet all the guys. I'm like, I suppose I stick around for one. Showed up an hour and a half late to Danielle's birthday party, and got in some serious trouble.
I'm not surprised. I made that mistake last week when we batted amazingly. Got 93 partnership. Episode 12, listen to it, out now.
And what did you have?
I had dinner plans at 8 o'clock and I just didn't get there till 9.
But then again, had you been free, would you have got there before?
Right, leave me. Yes, I would have, because I had the bike now.
So it's revolutionised your life. Never late again.
Yeah, but not only today did you invite yourself round to record here, but you were late as well.
Yeah, right. My other one is always play the rain card.
Always play
the rain card.
That's what I've noticed as well.
In Scotland, you can get away with it.
We've got quite a few tips this week, but what I've noticed
should have saved these.
Just edit them out.
So Friday night, loads of people went out because there's the idea that cricket may or may not be played tomorrow, and I think just the risk of maybe having to play cricket the next day is what made people go out. If it was just like a normal Friday night, they'd been like, yeah, I'll have a couple of pints and then
head home.
Yeah. But I think the risk of maybe having to play cricket the next day kind of entices you into too many pints and then maybe a going hive where other nightclubs are definitely available and never seem to be the one you go to.
Oh, do you want to talk about our experience on Saturday night?
Yeah. So we were supposed to record this yesterday, but I didn't get out of bed till really late.
Yeah.
Because Jay and I and a few others got really drunk watching the cricket.
Well, I didn't get really drunk watching the cricket. I came in quite late, but yeah, regardless.
Well, we got really drunk watching the cricket, and then we decided to go out, and someone told us there was a goth night going on at the TV at bar, at the Sports Union bar. And we ended up going along, and it was just so weird.
It was hilarious.
It was a load of fun, and like I was getting pretty into it.
Yeah, well, you and I were having a lot of fun. I don't know if everyone else was having a lot of fun. Everyone found it quite weird.
Yeah.
What kind of music was playing?
It was like
old, like weird rock.
No, it was.
Okay.
It's like.
I might be
so, do you know Evanescence?
Yes.
It was like that, but add just more noise.
Oh,
not
nice.
Not necessarily
Nice.
tonal noise, just kind of like...
Just sound.
Yeah.
Just generic sound.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
Just a wall of noise.
It was a lot of fun. And then we went Hive.
Yeah, no, and I lost odds on, so I had to put a request.
Yeah. So at this place that were playing really heavy, kind of weird...
Heavy metal. Or like
scary music.
Scary music is perfect.
Jay had to go up to the DJ and request, what was it?
C'est la vie.
Jay. Right, so I think we should probably wrap it up. Charles, I really enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a while. We should have recorded a little bit more frequently.
It was my mistake. Well, not my mistake. It was my fault we didn't get some more recordings in because I just haven't been here. I've been playing. Been getting run out without facing. So, but yeah.
A gentleman's dismissal.
Oh, was it? Jay, we've got anything you'd like to finish on? Oh,
yeah.
Socials.
Absolutely.
So
Twitter, at Wicket. Make sure to use the hashtag #NoSodi no party. Let's get it.
If you'd like to see a picture of Jay and Johnny Bairstow,
you have
make sure you follow us,
and you have to use that hashtag.
We're all...
If we can get more than 5 people using the hashtag, us included.
Definitely not us included. I'm signed into 6 Twitter accounts on my phone.
What?
I'm just
6?
like all the cricket clubs that I've...
Walrus, Marchman.
Yeah, the Grass on the
Wicket.
The Uni.
Your one.
And my own one, and we're starting a new one. So I've decided that it's not really a cricket related one, so it doesn't really matter.
Fair enough.
Well, if you can transcend cricket, then surely that's a bonus point.
Yeah, but I don't know if it counts if it comes from me.
Yeah, true.
So Twitter at GrassWicket. We're on Podbean. Our YouTube needs to be sorted out. I will sort that out over the next 2 days or so because we only have like 5 episodes up there at the moment instead of 17 or whatever how many episodes we should have.
13, I think. Oh no, and drinks breaks. Oh no.
So, YouTube, Podbean, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts,
Spotify. We've got an Instagram account which we've been doing some. We've been taking some nice pictures. We've been doing some. Sam's been doing some match reports for the Somerset games that he's been at. If you want, I think that's the thing we update. Besides Jay's weird tweets,
they're good, man.
I think a really good place to follow us is on the Instagrams.
George, anything?
No. Anything you want to plug to our listeners?
No, I feel there's been enough plugging in the last 5 minutes. If not, of just Jay scoring some runs last weekend.
Yeah, well done, Jay. and on that bombshell, Jay scoring some runs. I think we'll end. Thank you very much for listening, guys. I'm sure we'll see you whenever we get round to recording the next one.
Yeah.
I feel seeing is maybe the wrong verb to use. We'll speak to you.
Yeah. You can listen to us at some point later. Maybe this week, maybe next week. Who knows?
We have also been debating whether to have a camera when we start doing this.
A live stream.
Yeah.
Well, I think the amount of times I do this hungover, I think having a camera would be a bad idea because I just see me like face first in some chips as we do a recording. I think that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for listening. And we'll see you. Well, you can listen to us next time. Cheers.
Bye.